Hey, Coach John here, and welcome back for part one of your three-part video series where I share my simple three-step fat loss system for moms. So what I'm going to share with you in this video is actually about your program, your strength training program to be exact, and why it's such a priority. In fact, if you're going to spend 2 to 3 hours exercising only in a whole week, that time must be invested in a progressive strength training program if you want to really receive a benefit. You shouldn't be doing long runs on the treadmill or hours outside doing cardio. This should be where you start, okay? So strength training, it's your number one priority with your time that you have available. I'm sure you're limited in time between work and family, so make sure that this is your number one priority. And in my three-step system, we always teach women how to organize this around their lives and make it a priority because it's the best return on your time invested. So 3 things come with strength training and why it's such a priority, but let's talk about some of the benefits first. So I'm sure that's what you are really interested in. First of all, it delivers shape and tone to your body, because I'm sure you have a friend, or maybe you yourself can relate this story, where someone wanted to lose, let's say, 20 pounds, so they cut back on their intake, maybe started watching their food, and they invested about maybe 30 to 60 minutes running every day. Well, odds are if this is the first time they've done this in their life, whether that be you or a friend, you're going to see a drop in the scale, okay? But the net result usually is a slower metabolism, and also you'll actually, yes, lose the weight, but you won't have the shape and tone that you're probably looking for, so it doesn't really deliver the result. The scale says less, but the body does not shape and develop like you were looking for with, the leanness, right? It's more, you almost look like a worm, I like to always say. So that's number one, okay? And also, usually what we find is that men or women that take this route in weight loss is that they bounce back even worse, because the running and the lack of food, your metabolism adjusts and slows down. So when you go back and add in those old habits of how you used to eat or not work out, the weight comes back on twice as fast, right? Second thing is what I call EPOC, right? This is a benefit that happens. It's called excess post-oxygen consumption. It's a phenomena that is stimulated from higher intensity training, like a progressive strength training program, where essentially your metabolism burns at a faster rate while you're at rest after your workout. Running or steady state activity where you're at one pace or one intensity for 20, 30, 40 minutes does not deliver this benefit. There's minimal, if any, post-exercise benefit. So not only do you burn calories and fat during your workout with the strength training program, you set your body up to get a little metabolic boost after. This brings me to my last benefit, which is overall metabolism. The more lean tissue, we're not talking about bulk here, we're talking lean tissue, dense, lean muscle in your hips, your legs, your arms, right? The look that you're probably looking for, that's actually going to raise your metabolic rate, or essentially you're going to burn more calories naturally at rest. So it's a huge investment in you and your future and your health, and maintaining a healthy weight too, and a body composition you're happy with. So when it comes to your strength training program, this is where usually most women make the mistakes, is they go all in with a body pump class, or just stick with Zumba, or do something that they think they might be getting a strength benefit from, or even like a DVD program, maybe P90X. But realistically, unless you're on a progressive 4 to 6 week phase at a time, science-based progression, which I can share with you in a few examples, you're not going to see a benefit long term. Sure, you may burn some calories in the meantime, you might increase strength and endurance a little bit, but realistically, what you're going to find is that you plateau, right? Because your body adapts, it takes less energy to do the same exact things with the same exact weights. So an example, so your first 4 to 6 week phase in a strength training program, let's say whatever the exercise may be, you're using 15 pounds, right? Your goal, the first 4 to 6 weeks might be 15 reps, up to 3 sets. After those 4 to 6 weeks, you might adjust it down to the goal of being 10 reps, 3 to 4 sets. The weight should go up because you're doing less reps, right? So you should be able to do a heavier weight. And a lot of times we find that women stick with that same 15 pounds if they even adjust their reps. That's just one example of what progression is. Next thing is consistency. You must have a pre-structured and consistent plan, just like any education plan, right? There's a course and a framework to it. Training is no different, right? There needs to be a means to an end of how to get to a goal. A lot of times we jump into a large group training setting or a class program without progression. We're burning calories, yes, but our body adapts and the benefits stall out. So having a consistent plan, 2 to 3 times a week in a progressive strength training program goes a long way, and that's really all you need to get started. Last, you must track it. This goes back to the progression aspect. If you're not tracking your reps and your weights and seeing the improvements, which is something I coach all the women on here, which is why they get such a great result and get all these benefits from their strength training program, odds are you're not going to see the same benefits they are as well, whether that be shape and tone, around their hips, arms, thighs, or even the fat loss that I promised. So that's pretty much your strength training program in a nutshell, how it should be laid out, and I'm going to share a few samples with you. But more importantly, stick around. I'm going to share video number 2 with you shortly. And in that video, I'm actually going to go over the top mistakes that women make when it comes to the cardio program and why running on the treadmill stops working after a couple of weeks and actually causes weight gain sometimes. And the right type of cardio you can be doing that doesn't take you 30 to 60 minutes every day. So go ahead and stay looking for that video, and I look forward to seeing you next.